Hello Internet, Tough Monkey here, hope that you're all well, thank you very much for stopping by. It's just gone 5 o'clock, I've knocked off early, it's Tuesday the 21st of February, Pancake Day, thank you very much Polyphony, and it is the day of reckoning, it is Judgment Day. Update 1.29 has just landed for Gran Turismo 7, let's check it out. Okay, first up, perhaps the big one, compatibility with PSVR2, which comes out on the 22nd of February. Whether I get this, not too sure. I had the PSVR original, and it made me want to chuck up all the time, so I'm not sure if I'm going to get this one. New features in Scapes, you can set your cars up to drift, put smoke effects on it, and you can move the cameras around as well. GT Sophy, now this is a big one as well. The evolution of the AI of the computer cars. I've had a play with this, it's pretty good actually. How they developed this, it should be something to look out for. New cars, we have a Citroen DS, if that rocks your boat, bit of a land barge that. We have a Honda RA272 from 1965, I quite like that one. Couple of Ital design cars, Vision GT cars, not too bothered with those, and a Porsche 911 Carrera RS. Oh, Grand Valley is back. I've not played this since Gran Turismo 2 back in the late 90s. So let's take a look at these then. So we're going to want to head to the European showrooms and then to Italy, and that's where we'll find Ital Design. They've made some nice cars in their time, but they've also made something like the Morris Ital, an evolution of the Morris Marina, which won't go down as one of the greatest cars in history. Not going to buy those cars though, they don't really rock my boat, those Vision GT cars though. But these three, yeah, we're going to get these. We're going to get the Honda, we're going to get the Porsche, and we're going to get the Citroen. This is the Honda F1 car, it's 2.5 million credits. But I think it's going to be worth it. I think we're going to have some fun in that one. It's going to be nice and slidey on those wired, narrow walled tyres. I think that's going to be quite a nice car to drive, that. Next up is the Porsche 911 Carrera RS, the first Porsche 911 to feature the big whale tail on the back. That should be a bit of a widowmaker, so we'll have some fun driving that one sideways as well. Finally, the Citroen DS. Like I say, it's a bit of a land barge this, but you know, it's a nice addition. I do like my classic cars. I'll go out for a drive in the Jag E-Type or the Aston Martin, so why not go out in a nice wallowy Citroen DS? Got plenty of technology going on in that, so we ought to respect it. Okay, now we've bought the cars, let's go to the cafe and see what's in there. Unfortunately, we've got no new menu books this time around, which is a bit of a disappointment, but we do have a couple of extra menus instead. I've still not finished the Bugatti one yet, because I never got the invite to buy the outstanding Bugatti. But we do have Honda racing cars, which includes the glorious MP44 from the late 80s of Ayrton Senna and Alain Prost's era, and we've also got the Porsche 911 Carrera RS collection. For collecting all of the Honda cars, which I've already got, I don't need to buy anything here, we are going to get a Super Formula Honda. A little bit of a disappointment because I've already got this car. I don't actually have the Toyota version, so I've got two of one and none of the other. But never look a gift horse in the mouth, so thank you very much Polyphony. And the other menu book 17, is the Porsche 911 Carrera RS's. Sadly, all we're going to get for this is a 5-star roulette ticket, which you're never going to get much from a roulette ticket, are we? Shall we go and have a look what we're going to get from it? I really don't like this roulette ticket business because you very rarely ever win anything decent. What we got here is, there's no 5,000 credits to win, so we might win something. Oh, gold bar, no. Oh, we've got an Aston Martin. We've got an Aston Martin Le Mans car. Lovely, the 007 Aston Martin Vantage. I saw that at Le Mans a few years ago. Nice, thank you very much, Polyphony. Merry Christmas. What else we got? We got Scapes. We've got Oliver, the photographer, who's going to give us a tutorial on how to do Scapes with drifting cars. So that means you can make a Volkswagen Samba bus drift through the Houses of Parliament, or a couple of Group C race cars drifting through a Cotswold village. I mean, why not? Okay, what else we got? This is Sophy. This is Sophy, the AI that they banged on about back, 2 years ago when they first introduced Gran Turismo 7 to us. It's been a whole year since the game was released, and this is the first time we get to see it. We're only going to get it for about a month or so to have a dabble with it, but what we've got here is we've got beginner, intermediate, expert, and one-on-one versus Sophy. Now, I've gone through all of them. This was the race one against the beginner level, which was pretty easy, to be totally honest. The AI, although they go a little bit defensive, they're not too aggressive, and their overall pace isn't very good. So I'll spin this one forward to the end, because there wasn't a great deal to look at on this one, and as you can see coming up on the screen here, we won it by over 14 seconds. So it really was a beginner level. Intermediate though, it was a definite step up in class from the AI. They were a little bit more defensive, a little bit more aggressive. They were not supremely fast, but they were definitely a step up in speed over the beginner level. And it took me a little bit longer in the first lap to get past the first couple of cars. And as you can see from the leaderboard coming up, I only beat them by just under 5 seconds, which was nowhere near as big as the gap was in against the beginners. But moving up to expert, that's when things get a whole lot more difficult, and this was really quite fun actually. The AI, they're a lot quicker, they're a lot more defensive, they're a lot more aggressive, they'll go for gaps that aren't there, and it's a battle. It's great fun. It's certainly a heck of a lot better quality of AI than we've been used to for the last year, because I think we'll all be honest, they've been quite poor, the AI have, but now, I mean, watch this green car here. She's going to escort me right out to the outside of the track. I have to get on the brakes to avoid going out onto the grass there. It's a proper battle, and it's good fun. We've been waiting for this. If this is the sight of things to come, I'm going to enjoy it. We're all going to have a bit of fun on it. Now, if you look behind me here, there's the violet car. This car was going to follow me through the pack all the way to the end, and it was quite an aggressive AI. Now you see I went a bit wide there, and it was like a rat up a drain pipe, straight in there, pushed me out wide, closed the door on me here into the braking zone. And it was a bit of a battle, this was, and really quite enjoyable. In fact, let's play this out to the end, because we're on the coming up to the end of lap 2. We've got a side-by-side battle, and he's just got a little bit more of a run on me going up to this final corner into the end of the second lap. And look at this, even drifting it. The AI is drifting it round the final corner. I was quite surprised by that. I quite enjoyed that. Now we're catching up quickly with the lead car, the Sophy Bleu. Pardon my French, and into the first corner of the last lap. It's all getting a bit close. Even the lead car's drifting there, but this violet car, it's got some pace about it. Got some pace, so I'm going to try and follow it through into the hairpin bend coming up here. I'm going to nip up the inside. The car in second place didn't defend it too hard, but we got a proper scrap going on here, haven't we? So I'm going to try and follow the violet car into the final hairpin bend, trying to get as close as I possibly can, get a good run out of this corner under the Dunlop bridge, and my intention was to get him under braking onto those right hand side, and he went defensive, and I had to get on the brakes, a bit of a nudge there, and pushed him out wide, and I was able to get up the inside and get a bit of a run on him. And that's what it was. It was a neck and neck run all the way to the final corner. All I could do here was basically do a block pass and try not to run too wide into this corner, but he's all over me, or she's all over me. I'm not too sure the sex of these cars. Let's not presume whether they're him, her, them, whatever they are these days. And there we are. We finished first. We won the race, but by no means was that clean or comfortable. That was a heck of a battle. I enjoyed that. One-on-one though. This is where it gets even fruitier. Now, there's actually a ranking for this. You don't get any money for winning this, but you get your name on the leaderboard only if you beat the AI, and that proved to be harder than it is to say. I had 8 or 9 goes at trying to beat Sophy Violet here, the same car from the previous one, and well, as soon as she got into the lead, she's gone. I just couldn't get anywhere close to her. I was floundering. I was trying to do my best lines, but I was nearly 3 seconds behind come the end. That was roughly a 2:22. It doesn't actually tell you what your fastest time was if you lose. You see there, I was about 2:22, high 2:22. I discovered that the only way to really beat it was to get in front of it by the first corner, so I had to do a block pass into the first corner. I've put the replay on the left hand side of the screen here to show you what Violet's doing all the time, and this race, it turned out to be one of my slowest races purely because I had to get extraordinarily defensive. Prior to this, every time I went into this corner, she was up the inside, but I was having to do block manoeuvres at every possible occasion. So anytime there was any hint of a overtaking possibility, like into this corner or the hairpin bend coming up, I had to get onto the inside, get on the brakes early, cover any possible lunges, and just keep an eye on the purple car on the replay on the left hand side. She's very aggressive. She's all over me. This was a struggle to stay in front. It's only a 2-lap race on the 1 versus 1 in Sophy mode, which I was kind of pleased about, if I'm honest with you, because I'm not sure I had the energy tonight to be able to take on any more than 2 laps of battling against Sophy Violet. I mean, look at that, straight up there, I mean, tiniest little gap, in she comes, drifting sideways into the braking zone. It's quite impressive, really. I am impressed with what Polyphony has done with the AI here, and it's just a shame it's only going to be around for a month, because I'm going to enjoy having some scraps with that. We've kind of got used to the terrible AI that is in Gran Turismo 7, so it's nice and refreshing to see that we've got someone who can battle with you. And I mean, she did not let up the entire time. She is glued to my back bumper. If I'd have left a gap at any point, she would have been straight up the inside. So I'm having to keep it tight. I have to brake early, just cover off any possibility of her getting up the inside. Like approaching up to the this final hairpin bend here, I was expecting her to go diving up the inside, but just slam the door shut in her face, keep it tight, and try and cut back. As I come out of here, she was going to nip up the inside there. I just got enough in front to be able to stay in front, keep her behind me, and just got one last corner to keep her behind. She's all over me. She's all over me. I'm having to hug the curb as we come round here, otherwise she'd have been straight up the inside. It's impressive. I am impressed. Well done, Polyphony. This is good. I'm going to look forward to this developing. So we did win, but look at that time. It's shocking. Nowhere near where we need to be on the leaderboard. What are we? We're a good 5 seconds off on a 2-lap race. 5 seconds off of the top times. That's quite disappointing, that is. But we'll get there. I'm sure we will. Okay, what now? What is there left? Well, World Circuits. Let's go to America, and there we will find Grand Valley. Now, it's not called Grand Valley Speedway as it was on previous versions of Gran Turismo. No, it's Grand Valley Highway this time round, and we've got a number of events we can do. We've got the usual arcade race, circuit experience, time trial, drift trial, and a custom race if you so choose. But we're going to go to circuit experience and try and win ourselves 1 million credits for completing the 3 sector time trials and the complete lap time trial. Now, this was my best run so far on sector 1. Took 5 or 6 attempts to do this. This is, although it's very similar sort of layout to how it was on Gran Turismo 2, which was the last time I played it back in the late 90s, it's a very, very different orientation and layout, and it was like learning an entirely new track, and it's lovely. I do like this track a lot. It's it's a spectacular looking track with the scenery we've got going on here. It's quite a nice track to drive. The first section is quite fast and flowing, and then the second sector is very technical, very tricky, and then the third section is a combination of the two. So that was my fastest time so far, just nipping in front of my old teammate Super GT Steve there, and this is the middle sector. Like I say, this is a very technical section of the track, very different to the first sector we've just gone through. Very easy to get yourself into the gravel or put yourself into the wall. This section here is especially to get this corner right and give you a decent entry into this corner here. There's quite a lot of understeer on this track. It seems to be, I don't know if it's because it's a dusty track or not, but there's not a huge amount of grip, certainly not in this particular car. This corner seems to go on forever, as does this last corner here. It's very easy to get on the power too early and drift out too wide. There's a line just there. If you go over that line, then it's going to cancel you out, and you have to start again. So it's a very technical, tricky centre section, that is. It took me a little while to get used to that one, but got a decent time, got me gold, and we move on to the third sector of the lap, which it's a bit of a combination of technical section. This first part, very technical, got to get on the brakes very early, keep a nice tight line through here, and then this left-right combination, critically important, because from this point onwards you're not going to touch the brake again, so you've got to get on the power very, very early. whatever speed you take out of that corner, you're going to carry all the way to the finish line. It's uphill, it's fast, you're not going to lift off, you're not going to brake. You've just got this final right-hand corner out into the daylight, and then the finish line is ahead of you. That's it. That is the lap completed. And I got another gold there. I wasn't able to touch Steve's time on this one. He's way too fast through that final sector. I've got him through the first 2 sectors, but that final sector is just way too fast for me. So that's gold on 3 of the sectors. Now we're going to do the complete lap in one go. I do like this track. It's a good addition to the Gran Turismo circuit list, and one we've been waiting for this one. It is a historically good track, and I'm enjoying driving it. I've only been playing this. I've had like a 2-hour window tonight to go through everything you've seen tonight, and I've not really gotten used to this track yet, so there's plenty of time to unlock here. But we're getting there. I'm learning my braking points. I'm learning when to get back on the power. It really has been a bit of a learning experience. Even though I've used this circuit before, that was good grief, it's 23 years ago since I last drove this track. I had Gran Turismo 2 on my Sony PlayStation when I was at university between 96 and 2000. That's how long ago it was since I last played this circuit. Wow, I'm feeling old all of a sudden. But no, I think it's been a great addition. The visuals on this track are fantastic. There's some nice flowing corners, there's some nice technical twisty sections. There's going to be some good scraps when this finally gets into the Gran Turismo Sport rotation, and all of us maniacs are ploughing to that first corner. I think we're going to have some good battles. There's going to be a few fallouts, I'm pretty sure. This corner and the next 2 sections, very, very tricky to get this right, because it sets you up for the rest of the lap. It's so easy to go across those curbs. I went through those curbs many times before I got this right. But what a nice track. It's just visually nice, it's nice and flowing. I'm enjoying this, and this run into the daylight as you pop out just here, it's nice. I'm enjoying this circuit. And the run to the line, we're just going to dip inside the time we need to get gold. A 149.7 is what we needed to retrieve, and we've got a 148.821, so nearly a second underneath the time we needed to achieve. And we've got gold on all sectors and the final lap, which gives us 1 million credits in our bank account, which is very useful. Steve is just on another level completely. He's over a second ahead of me. I'm not even going to attempt to beat him, not yet anyway. Pride may set in at some point, but that's about it really. What else have I got to tell you? Well, let's finish this video on the roulette ticket we've just won for doing the daily marathon. We've had some good success today. We've had some luck. So there's 3 cars. We're clearly going to get something good here, aren't we? We're going to end on a high. We're going to end on 5,000 credits. Okay, thanks very much, Polyphony. Okay, I think that's it. It's been 2 months since the last update, but I think it's just been about worth it. What do you think? I want to hear your comments below. And while you're there, you might consider a like and a subscribe. I'm only a tiny little occasional YouTuber, middle-aged and trying to do a few videos in between work, family and other commitments, so I appreciate any feedback. Until then, I shall see you next time. Take it easy.